Listen. In the deepest of your soul, there is a call, an ancient echo that whispers forgotten truths, remembering that you were created with purpose, with light, with infinite love. It is not a coincidence that you are here. Every step, every tear, every battle has woven the path that brought you to this moment. You have not walked alone. From the beginning, a presence hailed by you, and walked in the moments of doubt, holding you in the shadows, whispering hope when the world seemed to be deaf. The love you deliver, the kindness you sow, every act of faith, everything returns to you multiplied. Because love is not lost, it is not unleashed. It is the force that unites the divine with the human, the bridge between your spirit and the infinite. Declare it. Allow your soul to proclaim it. Write in the comments. I declare my love, and he comes to me. May your love resound in the universe, and you will see how it returns, pure and radiant, enveloping you in the eternal promise of the one who has always walked by your side. Love is more than a feeling passenger. It is the essence that unites the visible with the invisible, the key that opens doors that reason cannot understand. Every time you deliver it without reserves, the universe receives it, mold it and multiply it again, like the rain that nourishes the earth and makes it bloom. Nothing you give with the soul is lost. Every word of consolation, every act of goodness, every moment in which there has been light for another, has left a mark in eternity. Perhaps you do not see it, maybe you think silence responds with emptiness, but nothing is further than the truth. The heavenly messengers have heard your voice, they have seen the nobility of your heart. Write in the comments. I am ready to receive the love that belongs to me. In the days when the weight of the world has inclined your spirit, they have walked with you, guiding your steps even when you thought you were alone. There is a drawn plan, a true hidden in the folds of time, waiting for the moment to reveal before your eyes. When you declare love, when you proclaim it without fear or conditions, you not only transform the world around you, but you align yourself with the divine purpose that has been granted to you since before your first breath. Because loving is not a simple emotion, it is the force with which God Himself has woven the universe, the language in which He whispers to the hearts of the awake. Just as the river finds its way to the ocean, that is how the love you give returns to you. Not always the way you wait, but always in the right measure, at the exact moment. Write in the comments. I open my heart and love arrives at my life. Perhaps in a hand held when you believed that no one looked, in an inexplicable peace in the middle of the storm, in a meeting that will change the course of your destiny. Declare your love and observe how the world responds. What is given with purity, what is born of the deepest truth, is never ignored by the heavens. There are no sincere words that are lost in the wind, nor act of goodness that does not turn a flame into infinity. It is the eternal principle that has guided brave hearts, to those who have understood that loving is the greatest of the forces, the highest of the truths. Because the one who opens his heart without fear never remains empty. The love you proclaim is not lost in the void, it is not an echo dissipated in nothing. Every sincere word, every act born of truth, becomes a living force, an invisible loop that entreats destiny and molds the essence of the universe. When you declare your love, when you offer it with purity, you not only change your own vibration, but give a sign to the divine. Write in the comments. I trust that true love finds me. God listens, the heavenly messengers take note, and the course of your story begins to align with what your soul has been looking for since the beginning of time. Love is not just something that is found, it is something that is recognized. Two souls destined do not cross each other, but because they have learned to vibrate in the same truth. The universe does not respond to despair or emptiness, but to the fullness of those who have understood that the first love must be given before being received. When you declare love without fear, when you become your reflection in each act, in each thought, you become a lighthouse. And as all light in darkness, go after those who are destined to find you. It does not matter how far you are, it does not matter how many routes you have twisted, because the essence of love always finds its way back. The heavenly messengers weave the invisible threads of destiny, guiding the steps of those who must walk next to you. Perhaps it is someone whose path has already rosed your soul without you knowing it. Perhaps it is a soul that has also waited, that has nailed a love that does not bend before time and doubts. The universe does not make mistakes. The one who is born of the divine never arrives late, never goes astray. But you must understand that true love does not run away, does not persist, is attracted to the certainty of who knows who belongs to him. Declare your love, live it in each act, and observe how the same sky conspires to guide who has been made to walk with you. Because when two souls destined to find each other, the whole world recognizes it. And in that instant, everything has lived, each wait, each sigh, charges meaning. And then, in an instant suspended between the earthly and the eternal, it happens. There are no doubts, there are no questions, because the soul recognizes what has always belonged to him. The eyes find themselves, and in that cross of eyes there is something more than a simple connection. It is a deep recognition, a certainty that transcends time, as if each Latin of the universe rises in a single whisper, saying, "Here it is. Here it is, the one you sought, the one you have loved even before you met your face." It is not the ephemeral emotion of a passenger encounter, nor the fragile illusion of a moment. It is a sensation that surrounds, that arraigas, that fills the soul with an unbreakable peace, and at the same time, with the intensity of a fire that never extinguishes. It is the fullness of knowing that all the pieces fit, that each path traveled had meaning, that each wait, each silence, each night you talk to God has led you to here. And on the other hand, that same certainty. Without words, without explanations, without the need to understand with the mind what the heart already knows. Because two souls destined to find themselves do not need questions, only answers that already have inscribed in their essence. The celestial messengers have guided this instant, they have interlaced paths, they have cleared paths so that this encounter may be inevitable. Nothing has been random. Each despair, each delay, has been a preparation, a refinement of the spirit, so that when you find yourself, there is no doubt, there is no fear, only the luminous truth of an love that was written from the beginning of time. It is then when you understand it. You do not need to close yourself, you do not need to force anything, because what is yours by divine right will never be lost. You declared your love to the universe, you lived it in every act, you sowed it with faith, and now the promise is fulfilled. Because that is the true love. Do not be deceived, do not be imposed, be recognized. And when you find yourself, you feel like returning home. But to receive this love, to hold it in your hands without fear that it will be unleashed, first you must allow yourself to live it. It is not enough to find it, it is not enough to recognize it. It is necessary to open the heart without reserves, without the shadow of old wounds, without the burden of fear of losing what has already been designated for you. True love is not a timid whisper that fears being quiet, nor a call that is hidden after fear of suffering. It is a sacred fire that needs space to burn, to illuminate, to transform. If you do not grant yourself the right to experience it in full, if you close your barriers that one day you raised to protect yourself, you will be closing the door to the blessing that God has placed on your way. The heavenly messengers have fulfilled their purpose when guiding this encounter, but the next step is yours. You must choose to walk in faith, not in doubt. You must accept that love is not a prize that only a few are worthy of accepting, but a divine gift that you have called to your life with your own light, with the truth that you proclaimed to the universe. Do not question and deserve it. Do not analyze if this love will be able to resist the passage of time, because the eternal does not need human certainty, only the sincere delivery of a soul that has decided to live without reserves. Open your arms. Allow love to inhabit you. Let it flow without restrictions, without the break of old disappointments. Allow yourself to be loved as God beloved that you are loved, without conditions, without fear, without the chains of a past that no longer has power over you. When you accept love in your totality, when you give it the welcome without limitations, the universe responds in the same way. And what you believed unreachable becomes your reality. Because the love you give, the love you allow, is the love that returns to you multiplied. Everything has been arranged. Each thread of your destiny has been woven with the precision of divine will. Now the love you proclaimed, the truth you affirmed with your soul, unfolds before you as an enlightened path. Nothing in the universe is casualty. Each heartbeat of your heart has been a call, each silent ring, an uprooted prayer to the heavens. You have declared your love with the force of whom I have not served you, with the certainty of who knows that love is not a reward, but an extension of the light that lives in you. And the universe, faithful to its promises, has responded. Now, all that remains is to live it. Not from the anxiety of uncertainty, not from the need to control it, but from absolute surrender. Trust in what God has arranged, in the union that has been written beyond time. Everything you feared to lose was never destined to remain, and everything that is true will never be able to be removed. When two souls are under the blessing of authentic love, there are no barriers that can separate them, there are no distances that can dissolve what has been united in the eternal. Because real love is not an empty promise, it is a sacred pact. And when you live it without reserves, when you allow it to transform, it becomes a reflection of the divine, in an echo of the voice of God calling you to remember who you are. So advance, without fear, without doubts. Let this love be the force that guides you, the light that illuminates each path, the home where your soul rests. Because what you have declared with faith, what you have delivered with truth, is already yours. It has always been.